Let me ask you something raw. When was the last time someone got under your skin and made you feel like you lost control? Maybe they insulted you, dismissed you, or crossed a line you thought was sacred, and in that moment, you felt it. The burn, the urge to explode, to defend, to prove something. But here's the truth they'll never tell you. Every time you react in anger, you've been controlled, you've been manipulated. The moment your peace gets hijacked, your power is no longer yours, it's in their hands. Stoicism teaches us that real strength is not found in dominance or shouting matches. It's found in the silence of a man who has mastered his response. And when you mix that ancient control with the sharp edge of dark psychology, you become dangerous. Not because you fight, but because you no longer need to. In this video, you'll learn how to never get angry or bothered by anyone again. How to train your mind into a fortress of calm so impenetrable that the world will start wondering if you feel anything at all. But the truth is, you do feel. You just choose what deserves your energy. Stay with me till the end, because what you're about to learn will make you unbreakable. And before we dive deeper, comment below, "My peace cannot be stolen." Say it out loud too. This isn't just a video. This is your transformation. Number 1, the enemy within. You think anger is strength? Think again. Anger is the illusion of control given to you by your enemy. It feels powerful until it isn't, until you realize that every time you explode, you leak power like a cracked dam. The Stoics taught that the real battlefield is not out there, it's in your own chest. Epictetus warned us, anyone who can anger you owns you. Let that sink in. If a single sentence, a glance, a tone of voice can unhinge your peace, you were never in control to begin with. The world is full of people trained to press your emotional buttons. Some do it out of habit, others do it with intent. It doesn't matter. The moment you react, you lose. You reveal your pressure points, and now they know exactly where to strike next time. But here's the twist. Anger is never about them. It's a mirror. It reflects your own unmet expectations, your unhealed wounds, your ego. That's why the strongest man in the room is the one who doesn't flinch. He doesn't need to raise his voice. He knows silence is the loudest response. So stop letting external chaos write your internal story. If you want to be untouchable, first tame the enemy within. Comment below if you're ready to master this. My reaction is my power. Let's see who's ready to reclaim their control. Number 2, detach from the noise. They will throw words at you like daggers, hoping one sticks. But what if you didn't even feel the blade? Marcus Aurelius used to begin each day with a chilling reminder. You will meet people today who are rude, arrogant, deceitful, jealous, and selfish. Why? So he would never be surprised, so he'd never hand over his peace. This is the secret most men miss. If you expect the world to treat you fairly, you'll spend your whole life upset. But when you accept the nature of people, something amazing happens. You detach, you observe, you become immune. Their insults, just noise. Their disrespect, a reflection of their weakness, not yours. It's like walking through a storm, but you're covered in armor. And here's the twist from dark psychology. People feed off your reaction. The moment you show irritation, they win. But if you stare back with no emotional blink, like a mirror made of steel, you rob them of their power. Because silence frustrates weak minds. And detachment, that terrifies manipulators. So learn from Marcus. When the world starts barking, you don't bark back. You raise your awareness. You become the observer, not the puppet. That's how legends are built. Number 3, control the controllers. Some people don't want peace, they want control. And the quickest way to control you is to make you feel. That's where dark psychology comes in. Understand this, every manipulator is fishing for your reaction. They don't care what it is, rage, sadness, confusion, as long as it proves they have emotional influence over you. The toxic ex who keeps messaging just to get a rise out of you. The co-worker who throws subtle jabs in meetings, the so-called friend who jokes at your expense. None of it is random, it's calculated. But here's your new edge. You don't react. You observe, you don't flinch, you analyze, you don't engage, you control the silence. When they see that their games don't work on you, something terrifying happens for them. They lose their grip, they start spiraling. Why? Because you've taken away the only thing they ever wanted, your emotional submission. They can't figure you out. And the more mysterious your calm becomes, the more unstable they feel. That's how power shifts without a word being spoken. That's how kings walk among chaos and never look down. If you're ready to flip the game, comment below. Calm minds command chaos. This is your awakening. Number 4. Emotional triggers are setups. Every emotional trigger you have is a trap. And the ones who understand this use it against you. Think about it. People learn what sets you off. They take notes, consciously or not. Your insecurities, your pride, your ego, your need to be respected, validated or understood. All of that becomes bait, and every time you bite, you play the role they've designed for you. The Stoics warned us centuries ago, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about them. That's where the trap begins, not in what they said, but in what you told yourself it meant. A raised eyebrow, a sarcastic tone, a dismissive word. You interpret it. You give it meaning. You feed it power. And suddenly, your emotions are no longer yours. They're in someone else's hands. Here's the shift. What if you refused to take anything personally? What if every trigger became a test, not a reaction? That's what Marcus Aurelius practiced. He trained his mind to see provocations as opportunities, to sharpen his self-control, not to defend his ego, because ego wants to react, ego wants to win arguments, but a higher mind, it wants peace, it wants mastery, it doesn't care about cheap emotional victories, it's too busy observing patterns. Dark psychology teaches us something terrifyingly true. People will manufacture disrespect just to provoke you. Why? To watch you unravel, to feel superior, to confirm their own hidden insecurities by watching yours explode. But the man who doesn't rise to the bait, he is a mystery. And in the realm of power, mystery is dominance. When they can't predict you, they can't play you. And when they can't play you, they start to fear you. Not because you're aggressive, but because you're unaffected. So what do you do the next time someone tests you? Pause. Look beyond the moment. Is this a genuine concern, or is this manipulation wrapped in drama? If it's bait, you walk past it like it doesn't exist. No reaction, no shift in tone, no defense. You keep your internal world calm like a still ocean. Let their hooks sink in the water, unchallenged. You'll be shocked how fast they drown in their own chaos when you don't show up to the fight. This is the art of dominance without violence, power without shouting, influence without effort. And it all begins when you stop feeding your triggers. Comment below if you're locking in this mindset. My mind is not bait. Let the weak fish for reactions. You're too sharp to bite. Number 5, the art of the indifferent smile. There's a power in smiling when they expect you to break, not a forced smile, not a sarcastic grin, but an indifferent one. Cold, calm, measured. That smile says, I see what you're doing. It just doesn't work on me. And that right there, that smile, it haunts people because they realize they have no control over you. The Stoics didn't fight chaos with chaos. They didn't raise their voice, throw punches, or chase explanations. They mastered the look, the stillness, the eerie calm that unsettles insecure minds. And here's what dark psychology confirms. People are wired to seek emotional mirrors. If they scream and you scream back, they feel validated. If they insult you and you defend yourself, they feel power. But when you simply smile and stare, it short-circuits their programming. Now listen closely. This isn't about being fake. It's about being free. Because only a man who is internally detached can offer that kind of response. It means you don't need to prove anything. You've already won. Your energy is preserved. Your reputation is intact. And their chaos, it collapses under its own weight. This is calm mastery, and only the strong earn it. You're not emotionally unavailable. You're emotionally selective, not because you don't feel, but because you don't let your emotions lead. Think of a lion. When it walks past barking dogs, it doesn't look back, it doesn't snarl, it doesn't explain. It smiles because it knows exactly who it is, and the noise is beneath it. That's what you're becoming, a force so composed, your presence alone unsettles those who live off reaction. Let the world throw shade. You walk in your own sunlight. Comment below, "My silence is louder than their noise." In a world addicted to reaction, calm is your superpower. Number 6. When disrespect arrives, don't react. Disrespect. It's one of the quickest ways people try to assert dominance over you. Sometimes it's loud and direct. A public insult, a snide remark, an eye roll meant to humiliate. Other times it's subtle, a joke with a blade hidden inside, a delay in response, a look that's meant to say, "You're beneath me." But whatever form it takes, disrespect is a test. And most men fail that test because they're too eager to respond. They jump into the ring emotionally, trying to reclaim dignity with their voice, their fists, or their pride. But here's the dark truth. When you react, you validate the insult. You say, "Yes, your opinion matters enough to affect me." That's not power. That's emotional submission dressed as a defense. Now think of the Stoic way. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote privately in his meditations, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't be." That's not denial. That's mental sovereignty. It means no one can disrespect you unless you decide their opinion has value. Your silence, your indifference, your ability to walk away without a single shift in tone, that's real dominance. Because it sends a message louder than words. You don't even register as a threat. This isn't about being passive. This is about psychological warfare done in silence. When someone disrespects you and you stare through them like they're made of glass, they feel smaller. When you keep your tone steady, your shoulders relaxed and your eyes unfazed, they crumble. Why? Because most people rely on your reaction to feel important. They need your energy to feed their fragile egos. When you don't give it, they wither. It's like cutting the power to their game. Here's what dark psychology knows that most people don't. Power exists in perceived control. The more in control you appear, even when challenged, the more others hesitate to test you again. The man who responds instantly, aggressively, emotionally, he's predictable, easy to manipulate. But the man who takes disrespect and greets it with silence or a subtle smirk, that man is feared, not because he's violent, but because no one knows what he's thinking, and in the silence of a composed man, others project their own fears. That's where real power lies. Let me give you a scenario. You're in a room. Someone tries to humiliate you in front of others. A jab, a shot at your masculinity. Everyone watches, waiting for your response. Here's what a weak man does. He snaps back, raises his voice, tries to match fire with fire. The room sees a man triggered, a man who just lost internal control. Now here's what you do instead. You pause. You meet their eyes for a few seconds longer than is comfortable. You let a small smile creep in, not mocking, just detached. Then you calmly shift the conversation or even walk away. No rebuttal, no tension, no ego. That's how you dominate. Because in that moment, everyone in that room realizes something. You are not to be provoked. You didn't fight for power. You revealed it. You didn't shout for respect. You made them feel small without saying a word. And that's something they'll never forget. But let's talk about walking away, because some people will mistake that as weakness. They'll say real men don't walk away from disrespect. False. Weak men stay and argue. Strong men remove themselves from situations that do not deserve their energy. Walking away is not retreat. It's redirection. It's saying, this battlefield isn't worth my presence. When you leave without explaining, without defending, without reacting, you send a final message. You never had access to my mind in the first place. And here's something most people don't understand. When you practice this level of composure consistently, people begin treating you differently. You become known as the one who can't be shaken. They start checking their tone before speaking to you. They choose their words more carefully, not because you demanded respect, but because your energy commands it. Let me make this clear. Silence is not weakness. Calm is not surrender. Detachment is not lack of feeling. These are tools of the mentally elite, the ones who have trained their minds to stay in control under pressure. And when disrespect arrives at your doorstep, you don't entertain it, you starve it. You want to win in this world. Learn to control how much access people have to your emotions. Not everyone deserves a reaction. Not everyone gets to touch your inner peace. Your value is not determined by loud declarations of strength. It's proven by how little you let the world shake you. If they disrespect you, let them. Your silence will echo louder than their words ever could. Now, if you've made it this far, you're already not like the rest. You're not just watching, you're transforming. But I want to see who's serious. Comment below right now. Disrespect doesn't move me, I move on. Let that phrase live in your mind every time someone tries to provoke you. You don't argue, you don't explain, you simply outgrow. Number 7. The true power move. Walking away is not the weakness the world makes it out to be. It is the ultimate show of strength, but not just any walk away, the silent, clean, zero residue kind. The kind where you don't carry bitterness, don't crave closure, and don't secretly hope they come running back. No explanations, no drama, just distance. And that, right there, is terrifying to people who depend on your reactions to feel significant. Most people leave, but they're still mentally tethered. They replay conversations, they craft imaginary comebacks, they stalk profiles, check stories, monitor responses. That's not walking away. That's just physical absence with emotional chains still intact. The Stoic doesn't just leave the room, he leaves the attachment, he reclaims his energy, he lets the past burn without rushing to save its ashes. Here's what most men don't realize. Real power is not in proving you can stay, it's in showing you can leave without a trace of regret. That doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you now care more about your peace than their chaos. You've outgrown the cycle. You've broken the loop. And here's the beauty. The moment you stop needing to explain your absence, you start living in power. Silent power. Untouchable power. In dark psychology, this is called the vacuum effect. When you walk away completely, without signaling pain, guilt, or doubt, you create a void. That void makes people panic. They can't read you, they can't decode you, and when they can't reach you, they realize what they lost. But by then, you're already 10 steps ahead, emotionally clean, mentally free, moving in silence like a man who chooses peace over war. Remember this, when you leave, really leave. No passive-aggressive texts, no emotional breadcrumbs, no last-word obsession. The man who exits with dignity exits with power. And nothing confuses a manipulator more than someone who doesn't return for round two. You don't disappear to punish. You disappear to protect your energy. You don't leave to teach them a lesson. You leave because you've already learned yours. So here's your new discipline. If they no longer serve your peace, remove access. Quietly, fully, without resentment. Resentment is still a form of emotional attachment. You're above that now. Let them wander, let them spiral. You're walking forward, lighter, sharper, free. Comment below right now if you've ever felt that liberation. I don't return to what I've outgrown. Let the world chase noise. You're chasing peace, and peace always wins. If you've made it this far, you're not just watching a video. You're sharpening a weapon. You're burning the version of yourself that used to react, that used to flinch, that used to break under pressure. That version of you, it's gone. What's left now is fireproof. Understand this. The world will keep testing you. People will continue to provoke, insult, disrespect, and manipulate. That won't change, but you will, because now you know your emotions are not the world's playground. Your peace is not up for auction. You're done being predictable, done being played. You've built something most people never touch in their entire lives: emotional self-mastery. You don't fight for validation anymore. You don't argue to be understood. You walk in silence, speak only when necessary, and when someone tries to throw fire at you, you don't run, you don't burn, you absorb it, and you stay cold. Because the man who cannot be provoked, cannot be controlled, that's the man people fear. That's the man who leads. So here's your final ritual. Breathe in, feel every past insult, every betrayal, every toxic interaction you've ever let control you, and exhale it. Let it go. All of it. That energy doesn't belong in your future. And from this moment on, the only emotion you serve is discipline. Comment below one final time. I am fireproof. Let it be your signature, your reminder, your warning to the world. If this video sparked something deep inside you, if you're done being reactive and ready to become unshakable, then don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with someone who needs this, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because Stoic Mate isn't here to entertain you. We're here to build men who cannot be broken. You've got the mindset now. All that's left is execution. Stay cold, stay focused, stay fireproof.